So like I said, I've always wanted a Range Rover, so welcome to my brand new Range Rover P38. The day has finally come where I buy a new Range Rover. Well, new to me, we're actually picking up a 20-odd-year-old Range Rover P38 today, which is a Bordeaux edition. It's a barn find, so this popped up on Facebook actually. Someone messaged me, reached out and said that they've got an old Range Rover P38 sat around that they haven't used. So we come down a couple of weeks ago to check it out, and when I tell you it's barn find, it is the ultimate barn find. It's been sat there, it's not been touched. So today we bought it, we're going to pick it up. John at TVC is going to come and collect it and rescue it for us, and then we're going to take it back to his, get it all cleaned up and see what's wrong with this car. Obviously the old Range Rover P38s, they have a lot of problems with the suspension, the roof lining sags and all that sort of stuff. It's probably the most unreliable Range Rover you can buy, but we're going to head on in, check it out, get this recovered, get this rescued and get it all cleaned up. That's the one, isn't it? That's what's towing us out of here, by. So we'll have a little walk around the Range Rover P38. Like I say, this has been sat for the last 12 to 13 years. It's a Bordeaux edition, so they only made 200 of these. Unfortunately, this is the diesel variant. So they've done 100 diesel and 100 V8 petrol. Could do a V8 petrol swap at some point, but at the minute it's got a 2.5 diesel in it. As you can see, it is a proper barn find. It's been sat in here for the last 12 years and it is absolutely hanging. Obviously, common problems that we're going to have on this, the air suspension is going to be playing up, I reckon. It's sat quite low. It's got a water pump issue as well, which we want to try and sort out. John at TVC is going to be joining us in a minute, so he's going to hopefully have a little look at it and see what he thinks. But we got this at a very good price, and it comes with all the original wheels and all that sort of stuff. We'll have a little walk around. It is absolutely hanging. So, like I said, it's been sat in this barn for the last 13 years, not been touched whatsoever. But hopefully underneath, it could be mint. Obviously, don't know necessarily about the paintwork yet, but hopefully it should be mint. We need to take off a few bits, so they've added the old autobiography badge and the sport badge, even though it is not a autobiography or sport. But this is the new car, so hopefully we'll get all this cleaned up. We'll get it done up to exactly how it was when it came out of factory, and then we can basically start using it for all the cars and cuppers and Land Rovers as Devon stuff. It's got the normal Range Rover wheels on there at the minute. We have got the Bordeaux edition, so the Bordeaux edition comes with a different set of wheels and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, welcome to the new project car for the channel, which is going to be an absolute sender. Isn't that right, Felix? Yeah, boy. As this car's been sat for the last 13 years, of course it meant we couldn't just drive it straight out. Everything is going to be completely seized, and obviously it would have no MOT on it. There is also a water pump issue, which we know with this car when we bought it. The guy that sold it to me did tell me. I think it's a common problem on these older cars. They're made out of plastic, and then they soon change it to metal. So we didn't want to run it. We didn't want to drive it home or anything like that. So we spoke to John at TVC Performance, who we do stuff with cars and cuppers. He's got a lovely new Range Rover L405 with a lovely all singing, all dancing Woodford trailer, and he helped us recover this car out of the barn that's been currently sat in for the last 13 years. We did come fairly prepared. We brought up a brand new battery just so it meant it was a lot easier to get it on and off the trailer. The bloke there on the left is the previous owner called David. He's the one that's had this car for the last 13 years and just left it in this barn. Well, I'm telling you, he's got loads of stuff sat around like this. It is mental. This was one of like 5 Land Rovers that I've seen. He actually did move it around for us the other day just to make it a lot easier for us to get onto the trailer. So the position of the Range Rover, as you see it, is a lot further forward than where it has been for the last 13 years. He tested it the other day with another battery he had, and he said he managed to get it started up and get it moved. So we decided to get a fresh battery for it, which meant when we was transporting it on and off the trailer, it was a lot easier. But as you can see, it fired up straight away, although you can hear a knocking noise, which we believe is from the water pump. But to think that this is the first time that this Range Rover has moved in the last 13 years is crazy. Yeah, that's fine. I haven't got much brake at all, John. No. Well, I just said, yeah. Go on by. Good on, John. It's probably one of the best cars you've had on there, isn't it? Other than the E36, of course. Whilst John's doing that, shall I sort them documents out?
Yeah, we can go up and do that if you want. Yeah. I don't know if you want to squint in the back. You can now. We got a battery on there.
Oh yeah.
We've got a special fitted cardboard mat in there.
Look at that.
Yeah. Let's say one press opens the top, second press opens the bottom. That's all my fitted cardboard. There.
No way.
You won't find many load compartments.
No.
After that sort of time. There's all your tools.
No way. Good on.
The nuts.
Yeah, nice.
Correct wheels.
Yeah, nice. I see the original for sale sign.
Yes, we've got that. There you are. If you want to ring the bloke and see if he's still living, I don't know. But
5 months tax, look. You couldn't sell it. You can't sell it with tax these days, can you?
Oh, there you go. So there we go.
Is it still got 12 months MOT? Maybe not. That for sale sign is actually the original for sale sign when he bought the car 14 years ago. Back in the days where you could actually sell a car with tax, which seems like a long time ago. But as you can see, the condition of the Range Rover after being sat around in that barn for the 13 years is not ideal. It's got the classic air suspension faults where the car is sat on the wheels where the air suspension's failed, and as you can see, the roof lining is all sagging, and this car definitely needs a good clean. So I know just the person for this job. Even though I'm gonna have my work cut out trying to get this back looking like new again, it is absolutely hanging. But I'm hoping that the dirt has protected the paintwork underneath, so it'll be the moment of truth when we detail this car.
I'm going to do a quick tour of this van. It's got a leafy problem in there, and he's got muffins. There's one left.
Muffin, yeah, do you want it?
No, he'll kill me if I have that.
The Range Rover is currently sitting on L322 wheels. They are not the original wheels for the car. The Bordeaux edition comes with specific Bordeaux wheels, which you can see us loading up here. So I'm glad the car come completely original as it was from factory. Once I filled all of the forms that I needed to fill and I collected all of the parts, including the original wheels, the Bordeaux wheels, it was then time to head off and rescue this car properly. It's mad to think that the last time this Range Rover P38 left this premises was about 13 years ago, and now it's leaving on a Woodford trailer covered in green and covered in dust. Normally this trailer is used to transport a various amount of track and drift cars from both TVC Performance and Dragon Performance, and now it's got a 20-odd-year-old Range Rover P38 looking sorry for itself, but hopefully we can restore this car and get it looking like new again. At this stage, I'm actually undecided what I do with this car. So the story is, I've been after a Range Rover or Land Rover for a little while, but the Range Rover Classics are just too far outside of my price range, and the P38 was at a bit more of a reasonable price. I did actually go to look at a Range Rover P38 in Manchester a couple of weeks ago, but it was an absolute shed, which, to be honest, most of the Range Rover P38s are. So what I decided to do, I thought, well, I live in Devon, there's got to be some old Land Rovers, there's got to be some old Range Rovers sat around. So I decided, right, let's just chuck up something in some of the local groups and see if anyone's got one of these sat around which they might want to sell. So I posted a few photos of some Range Rover P38s that I liked, and I said, I've got this sort of money to spend, has anyone got anything available? Didn't hear anything back until a couple of days later, where a guy called David messaged me and said, I've got a Bordeaux edition Range Rover P38 that's sat in a barn that I haven't used for many years. Do you want to come and have a look at it? So I thought that's quite a good opportunity. Bordeaux edition Range Rover, you don't see many of them. There's only 200 of them made, 100 petrol, 100 diesel. I thought, let's go and have a look at it and see what needs doing to it. So me and the missus decided to head out one evening and go and have a look at this car to see what it was all about. And to be honest, I immediately fell in love with it as the price was right. It was a typical barn find, and all of the stuff that I need to do to this Range Rover would have been your average stuff I would have had to do to any Range Rover P38 anyway. When I had my heart set on a Range Rover P38, I did want a 4.6 V8, but like I said, this come up, so I thought when I went down to have a look at it, this car needs rescuing, and like I say, everything that I need to do to this car would have been anything else I would have had to do to any other Range Rover P38. So what my plans are, I think, is to clean up this car, see what the paintwork's like, fix all of the issues that it needs to have, like the water pump, sort out the airbag suspension, put the original wheels back on and some fresh tyres, give it a good service, sort out the roof lining, and then maybe I'll end up selling it on. Or if it's a car that I fall in love with, I'll make some improvements to it and then probably use this car all of the time. Alongside Cars and Cuppers, I have a separate small venture, more like a car club, called Land Rovers of Devon, where we do Land Rover drives and Land Rover meetups and events. So what I might end up doing is using this car for that, or I could end up selling it to put towards a 4.6 V8, and hopefully one time in the future I can have each generation of Range Rover, which will be epic. We dropped the P38 off to TVC, which is actually going to be where my E36 is going to have some work done, including its MOT. So I'm going to be using some of their space to get it all cleaned up and get it detailed, and then we can decide what we're going to do with it from that point onwards. So my plan is obviously get it all cleaned up, see what sort of condition the paintwork's like. Hopefully the paintwork is really good, because like I say, hopefully the car was good when he bought it, and hopefully all of the dirt and all the grime has been keeping the paintwork protected whilst it's been sat inside its unit. Obviously there'll be a few things that we need to look at getting done mechanically wise. We'll sort out the airbag suspension, we'll sort out the water pump issue, as there is sort of a rattle noise which isn't ideal, and then we'll sort some of the cosmetic bits like doing the sagging roof. Obviously all of these P38s have a sagging roof, so we'll try and sort that out along with any other issues that we might find along the way. One of the other things I might do to this car is just get it back to how it originally should be. So remove the side steps, remove the roof bars, and put the original wheels back on. So if anyone's after some L322 wheels, let me know, as I'll probably end up selling them to you. Or what I could do with these wheels is use them as a spare set through winter, put some winter tyres on, and have some fun when it's snowing and all of that sort of stuff. As you would have just seen, we've just collected the Range Rover P38. It's now at TVC, where it's going to spend a little bit of time whilst I clean it all up and get it prepared. We've just collected this from a guy based on the outskirts of Exeter. He's had it sat up for 12 to 13 years, just not used it whatsoever. He actually bought it, like I say, 12, 13 years ago with the intention of using it all of the time. But this guy's got so many cars, so this was one of many cars that were just sat around gathering dust. Like some of his cars were even sat in hedges and stuff, so this wasn't a surprise to see this sat up. This is a Bordeaux edition Range Rover P38, so it's a limited run Range Rover that they've done towards the end of doing the P38s before they switched over to the L322s. So this one has slightly different features to some of the other Range Rover P38s out there, hence why I decided to put some money into this one and hopefully do it up and hopefully probably sell it on if we can. Unfortunately, this is the diesel variant, it's not the V8 variant, so they've done 100 in diesel, 100 in petrol. So yeah, bought this, it was cheap. I know we're going to have to spend a little bit of money on it. Obviously we've got Land Rovers of Devon alongside Cars and Cuppers, so it'd be cool to do a little product series on this and see how nice we can get it basically. But we're already starting to face some issues though, which we'll talk about in another video maybe, but we are having some issues already, which is to be expected on a car that's been sat there for 12, 13 years. But if we have a little walk around, as you can see, it is absolutely caked in green. It's got mold on it, it's got cobwebs on it and all that sort of stuff. The interior as well, to be fair, the interior could be a lot worse. There's no visible massive amounts of mold, it's just mainly dirt and spider webs and all that sort of stuff. If we have a little look inside, we've had a mouse or something in there whilst it's been sat around, which is to be expected. We've actually had to take all of this off today just because we've gone to move it today to do a detailing video, which you'll see on the next video. I've gone to reverse it back and it is locked in park and it won't go into any other gears. So we've had to take all this off to find where the manual selector is, but we've actually had to get underneath and do that. So it's in neutral now. We'll come back to this, it's absolutely hammering it down. We are going to try and do a detailing video, which you'll see in another video, but we'll come back and do a little walk around once it's got a little bit drier. So as I was saying, a few issues with the car, like the gearbox and stuff, but hopefully that's going to be sorted in a bit. I think a cable's snapped. Obviously it's been sat there for 12, 13 years, so it's bound to have a few issues. This is probably going to be one of many issues, because this is probably the Range Rovers that have the most issues is the P38. So if anyone says about one of these not having issues, then you've got an absolute steal. But yeah, other than that, we're just going to do a bit of a detailing video on it, which we'll see on another video, because as you can see, it is absolutely caked. It's been sat there for 13 years. It actually had a mattress protecting it, so the bonnet's not actually too bad. It's just the rest of it that needs a full-on deep clean. We've also got a spare set of wheels for this, so you'll notice those avid Range Rover fans will know that this is not the original Bordeaux edition P38 wheels. Behind here, we've got a full set of Bordeaux wheels that come with it, and it even comes with a spare to go in the back. So if you have a blowout or whatever, you've got a fully matching Bordeaux edition wheel. But that's it for this video. We're going to do a full series on this car over the next few months, seeing what needs doing to it. It's currently at TVC Performance. Obviously I'm going to be using their setup, so I'm going to use their detailing bay, I'm going to use their booth to do some machine polishing and that on it. I've actually got my E36 over there, which is also having some work done, which is another project car that I shouldn't have probably got involved with. I should have learnt my lesson from that one, not to do something on this one. So what we're going to do next, you'll next see a detailing video cleaning this all up, and then we'll get it inside TVC, we'll have a look to see what's wrong with it, we'll put some money into it, we'll try and get some bits sorted out, and then we'll see what other stuff we can do on this Range Rover P38. So if you're into the Land Rover, Range Rover series, if you're into barn finds and all that sort of stuff, make sure you check out the rest of these videos, subscribe to the YouTube channel, all that sort of stuff, and we'll see you guys and girls on the next one. Ciao.